and grit. Welcome to the Compton Weekly Community Editorial from your community station, KTNG 860 AM, with your host,
Tacos con mucho chile
and grit. What is it? The American Militants on the Digital Dial. This is a public-sponsored, supported station, and we encourage our listener supporters to stop by our Facebook page or website and leave us a message or a much-needed donation. These are our broadcast notes for the week ending March 30th, 2014 archive. Take it away, tacos, because I know we got a part 2 of our meeting with Shishko Bobby, Shishko Bababoo. Bubba Ray. So what happened? What happened when we showed up for the City Hall meeting? Therefore, he, again, like an all character, like all criminal, they all have a pattern. And his pattern was basically to sit there and, pick a side to manipulate or race bait more so again for his subject being illegal vendors.
Well, one of the things that we should have noticed in the beginning, from the outset, he sits to the far right of the meeting.
Far right.
And of course, we sit far left
So far
to
left.
the meeting where you can't even find us either.
Yeah. The only thing that's stopping him from being too far right is being blackfaced. But then again, Sure enough. However, once a gavacho, you're still a gavacho. In my book, I don't give a damn.
Well, one thing for sure is that his animosity, for lack of a better word, towards raza or Latinos, is very evident, because my sources told me that was his MO. Very subtle, but nevertheless very anti-raza. And the way he does it, is very shrewd, like most white racists are. Divide and conquer. So look, I'm not racist. My black friends are here.
Or them half-froes.
Yes.
The one black friend he has in his entire entourage of white people.
Who's that?
I don't know. With that entourage of his white people, definitely don't show up and back him up for anything. And as you noticed in that meeting, there wasn't enough corporate whitey there to support his claims or give him the thumbs up of saying, gee, you're an upstanding citizen for bringing this out, because you're now race baiting the blacks to hate the Latinos. And in Compton, it's a 50-50 thing. There's Blaxicans all over the place out there.
Well, let me tell you about Bubba Ray.
Bubba Ray.
This character is, and I described him before, he is like a little wart. There's a growing cancer. There's no cure in sight. He'll always be there, to create chaos between blacks and browns. But see, as long as tacos and grits, it's there, present, we're gonna be the antibiotic. We're gonna be his penicillin. And at every time that he starts squawking like a parrot, we'll be right behind him with a cage.
Either that or a patada en el culo.
Adios.
If anything, I mean, the guy basically has a one-minded agenda on making sure nobody makes a buck faster than him. I understand the spirit of competition, but I don't see him or any of his cronies, out there doing the exact same thing these poor vendors are doing. They're trying to survive and feed their families. Now, one of the rules of anything is that you don't mess with a man's biggest piece of chicken on the table. You don't mess with his money. You damn sure don't mess with his family.
You know what I think? I think he is one of Arizona, Maricopa County anti-immigrant county sheriff, Joe Arpaio, who we Raza consider him as the Bull Connor of today. You know, I mean, let's face it, y'all folks had your George Wallace, who is now wearing skirts. That's Jan Brewer, the governor. You got Bull Connor, who back then is now Joe Arpaio. I have said it again. And the Ku Klux Klan back then is now the Minutemen. So nothing has changed. And this Bubba Ray happens to be one of the White Citizens Council or some shit like that. You know, the auxiliary.
I mean, the guy has a one-man mission from the outset. I mean, from the first time we seen him to the last time we seen him. But he's been noted to come through there just about every other time to bring his case up, and it's mostly anti-Latino rhetoric.
Well, here's the beauty of it. Now that we have made our presence in Compton, and especially at the Compton City Hall, and also at the Compton Unified School District, where we face 4 corrupt amigos.
Which is another story. We'll get into
yes,
more.
that's another story.
That's another story.
But they're there. They're like a canker sore.
Yeah, believe you me.
You know,
big boy.
I just hope these bastards get indicted either by the state or the federal, because they deserve to be locked up.
But back to the matter at hand here, since we got a little bit of time left here. Robert Ray, or I don't know. Why don't we just give him a whole new, let's give him a whole new nickname. Like, let's just call him
Cletus?
Well, Bubba Roach. Because, you know, I'm not sure if people understand this. Roaches were never actual species in the United States or America or, you know, Turtle Island. They were imported from Germany. So therefore...
But you're giving the cockroaches a bad name.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? You ever notice? Check this out. You ever notice that when in the old days, when you go to the outhouses, okay, and after you take a shit, after a while it ferments, and it creates maggots, and guess what? Maggots are white too, you know.
Wow.
Pendejo.
So that brings up our genealogy answer for the Lifetime Award. That yes, white does come from black. So,
Sure enough.
Yeah, showed up.
God damn.
I tell you, it's kind of bad, considering that Bubba Ray doesn't have a leg to stand on to begin with, and 2, there's been no investigation of his allegations whatsoever, and 3, it seems more of a personal attack against the Latino community as a whole. I mean, what is he bucking for? You know, we've already had an earthquake here. Needless to say, all the lands south of the earthquake zone are not affected as much as they are in more white, densely populated areas. You know, of course, there's Latinos there and a few blacks and everything, but, you know, we're talking the economic segregation of the fact. Therefore, Bubba Ray seeks to do the same thing the CRA does, which is simply control the land, make sure that the white people come in and gentrify the entire area so that way they can say, oh, look, we have new money. But yeah, we got a new flock of gavachos. I mean, come on, you see, you know, John Small walking a dog, walking a fucking poodle, you know, through the streets of Compton. Get out of here. That's not happening. That just doesn't make sense.
Mira, let me tell you. Here's the demographics. Okay, people like Bubba Ray. Okay, they're the people like Bubba Ray, and here's a classic example.
They're only 25% of the population.
Check that out. Yes, but check this out. People like Bubba Ray are aging, like he is, and dying out of existence towards the dinosaur age. Okay, so the only ones that are going to be left on the planet are people like you, me, and indigenous native people, you know, people of color. And of course, I'm not indicting all our white brothers and sisters, because not all of them are racist either. But let's hope that the cancer of the white population dies out.
And it will. I mean, you go back.
Like,
there's
like Baba Ray.
Yes, and there's like, you know, a passage in a very noted science fiction book. I think it was like called Generations Past, where there were, you know, the human population were basically subjugated by alien race, but the alien race waited and waited and waited and waited and waited until all those generations died out. And guess what was left on the planet? The brown man. Okay?
Right, but in all fairness, okay, I gotta send shout outs to all my Facebook friends, okay, and I'll tell you why. In my list of my Facebook friends, I got of every race, including white, non-racist whites. Okay, they're my friends, like Buell, Dickerson, Kerry Cobson, and
Jerry Brown and Bozo the Clown.
you know, Linda Cedillos.
Oh yes, yes.
You know, I can name a lot of my white friends.
Yeah,
you know.
and I can basically give it.
And they're not racist.
Yeah.
Okay, then, in all fairness, I got a few Hispanic and Negro spies within my Facebook, but I keep them there because it's good to have your friends close and your enemies closer. So I got a few Hispanic and Negro spies there that are spying on me. They're reporting, you know, to whoever, you know, to my adversaries. But I don't care. I'm an open book, and I will continue to tell like it is, you know, chinguen a su madre.
Just spread the butter where it needs to be on the bread. I'm gonna give a shout out to all my Facebook buddies. Most of my Facebook buddies belong to the world's largest gang on the planet called Zulu Nation. And theirs is based on the principles of unity, love, peace, and having fun. And do you know that I have these are all shapes and colors. It doesn't matter if they're white, black, Australian, Negropean. Some are, okay?
Hey, don't you LULAC with me?
Oh no, hey, I'm not trying to NAACP here either.
You know what LULAC stands for?
Give it a good shot. What does it stand for?
Well, I think. Let's see. LULAC. Latinos, Unidos, Latosos.
Like they said in that movie with the spider and the pigs and shit, greetings and motherfucking salutations. It's your friendly neighborhood loose cage. You are tuned into the mothership breakdown. What up, y'all? Man, I'd like to big up everybody. How about that? You know, this is Disc 9. You know, we got some fire for you today. Man, I ain't playing. Shoot, what we got coming up?
And we are brown and black.
Show love!
Show love.
God damn, chingao, man.
Okay, so our section here. What is the glorification of invisibility? There are new buses in circulations. Yes, they are. Equipped with, now get this, front seat padding. You know, the kind that they have in asylums throughout America. Talk about spending money. We don't have as taxpayers.
Now the people that from the metro, they think that the riders are tan locos o que chingados.
You know, again,
they need padded walls now.
Either that or to catch people from falling into the damn bus. But again,
Oh.
again, the Xeno class have decided with our voices and with our concerns. See, we don't speak, but they speak for us. That's known as politricks, okay? Fact is, by September, Compton/Watts, your homie, Mark Wrigley Thomas, who runs that district, okay, is about to shank the poor again, along with the county council.
You mean the flim flam man?
You got it. Monthly passes go up to $100 by September. But get this, the buses are already in circulation, so enjoy the low fares now. Crash pads, I mean, come on. A bit reticient, no?
Ah, I know where they put the padding now. I figured it out right now.
The maxi pads?
Yeah, I think I know why.
Okay.
Because when they raise, check this out, when they raise their fees and people start going ape shit,
Uh-huh.
they're gonna try to bang their heads against the wall inside the bus. And guess what? The padding will help them from getting hurt.
And it stops me from knocking on the side of the bus. Boom, 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 boom. Let me off, let me off. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, that's in Mexico, cabrón.
Well, I was doing it up here any damn way, so just to see if it
esquina,
would
por
work.
favor, and then they hit the inside, right? That's why in Mexico, in many parts of Mexico, you see buses that look bloated
From
the inside out. Like hitting a beer can from the inside to outside.
Man in a
They
can.
expand. That's the bus, and you know the irony of all this? They're the hand-me-down old buses that they throw away here, like I said before, and they sell it to Mexico
Oh, of course.
or other Latin American countries.
Okay, now how about this? Or how about the fact that this Friday everybody's got a mailer? Most of the poor people like myself got a mailer from Governor Jerry Brown's office, which is sending a fear-based messaging that your Medi-Cal is subject to quote-unquote recoupable taxation. Recoupable taxation when you die after you're 56 years of age. So after you die and you're on Medi-Cal, you got to pay it back. You have to pay it back.
Oh, what again? I'm 67.
Yeah, but if you got Medi-Cal and you die, your forebears have to pay all that money back.
Thank goodness I'm still working.
You know what I mean? So therefore, since the Xeno class, taxpayers wrote the damn affirmative initiative that one collects the quote-unquote DPSS, Department of Social Services overpayment plan. That is nothing more than what we would call extortion or loan sharking. It's a noted plan of civil extortion against the poor of age. Does the money pinch you? Does the money pinch your age? Like you just left Las Vegas broke.
Do you know what DPSS stands for?
What?
In the barrio?
What?
De pendejo, you ass.
Okay. Now, that again, does the money pinch your age, like you just left Las Vegas broke? That's because it stays in Vegas. Basura.
How ironic. I did my internship when I was in college at DPSS.
Oh, God. Okay, before the first day of summer. I mean, really. Here's the shift in the economy. In the past 5 years, scandal and corruption was the united glorification of it. How in the hell does $90 million go missing when the people who need it the most can't have access to it? Explain this, okay? Pope Francisco, from Argentina, has a place named after him. It's in a quote-unquote tent city of the poorest people on earth fighting to remain on land that the government seeks to remove them from. Yet, with all the riches of the Vatican, from the conquering of the Incas to pedophile priest payoffs, not one damn dime is available to help people get the basic of necessities established. Yet, they survive and flourish. You see, the two sides of this is here. Okay? And does anyone see the two sides of this yet? I mean, anyone? Anyone at all?
Confusing.
Bueller, can you answer this one? Okay? Questions like this can be summed into one big-ass question like this. Why is there a fear of wealth sharing that can allow people the ability to take care of one another?
Because that's the status quo, whether it's economic or religious. You know, don't forget, religion is the opiate of the people.
The opiate of the people. Now, that's a drug that doesn't cause side effects. Wait a minute. Whoa. There are side effects to that, okay? One is missing children. Two is pedophilia. We do know that. Come on. I'm not a choir boy. So
Karl Marx said it.
you know, basically. I mean, in this metro Marxism that we live in, it is the division of labor, the cost of labor. But more importantly, the trickle down doesn't happen. It's always built up from the base, and that base is very small, and it weighs on a ton of people. You have a ton of people supporting that base of wealth, where only the few get so much. You gets everything, and the many get little.
And you know what's the irony of it all? You tell those poor people working the agricultural fields for the master, okay, black or brown, working the cotton fields, grapes or whatever, you tell them about the exploiting class, you know, the patron, the master.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? They don't know what the hell you're talking about. All they know is, let me work. I have to eat.
Well, see, now this opens up a can of worms, because as we are cruising through, you know, Cesar Chavez's day here, you know, his enlightenment was, you know, equality for everyone in the working field. I mean, you yourself, tacos, kombucha, chili, once worked in the fields with this man.
Oh yes, I was involved during my college years, back in the mid-70s.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the picket lines at Safeway stores right there on, at that time it was called Brooklyn Avenue, now it's Cesar Chavez. But it was Brooklyn Avenue and Gage, which now is Cesar Chavez and Gage. There was a Safeway there, and we used to go to other small stores on Olympic down in East LA, you know, to, you know, you know, I was involved in the farm workers strike, you know, so as a former farm worker myself, we used to pick cotton, tomatoes, okra, you name it, back in Texas.
Oh yeah.
In Brownsville, Texas, to be specific.
Sure enough.
Sure enough, in the Rio Grande Valley, which, by the way, I just finished a 2-part series, 18-page column that is about to be published on my blog, La Reconquista de Aztlán, National Liberation Movement. It's called The Texas Rio Grande Valley, Bienvenidos to Aztlán in the Making, which I said before, you know, as a tribute to the Rio Grande Valley, my native area, where I was born. And to this day, you know, I'm still a native. I might be over here, but that's where I plan to retire, hopefully, soon.
Oh yeah. And speaking of retire, there's a couple of other instances of corruption that are stifling people, you know, such as tow trucks that are basically just whipping around and just picking up people's cars for no reason and then making them pay. What is that all about?
Mira, the thing about it is that according to my sources, there's Alberto's or Albert's tow truck service or something like that.
VO5.
What they've been doing is that they go to, they have people, they have, according to my sources, this is allegedly because I don't have the proof, but according to my sources, that they have people walking out in the parking lots, like the 99-cent store or other places. They have their satellites, and they call in, and they put a sticker or something to identify a car where the people just got out and went inside the store, and that's when the tow truck from this company, Alberto's I think, comes and picks up the tow truck, but they got caught.
Oh?
They got caught.
They got caught. Wow.
Right, by citizens of El Monte.
Ooh.
There's that's where my sources come from. The people directly involved in this. But I'm gonna have more details on this.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because I've been to El Monte some years ago. Corruption, like if you think that the Unified School District in Compton and City Hall is corrupt, hey, the Hispanics are just as corrupt. You know, they're just corrupt to the core, just as the brothers and sisters. You know, not the sisters. I take that back. For some reason, I can't say anything bad about the sisters in power. It's the amigos. Ain't that?
Well, because they're there on the side of compassion and emotion, while the men there are there for logic and practicality.
My pocket?
Basically. But then too, that opens another can of worms of corruption. There's another area of corruption that's allegedly supposedly going on, and you supplied me with that information while we was grilling on some, Chinese food.
I know, and I'm still hungry for more.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. What happens is that there's a big movement in Vernon and surrounding areas,
It's happening.
including East LA.
It's happening.
There's a company called Exide, EXIDE, I believe.
So you can
Look-
find Exide on exide.com and you can get the company
Possibly so.
Okay.
That has been under fire by the community because they make batteries.
What type of batteries? Like car batteries, radio
I
batteries?
believe so.
Okay.
But anyway,
That's kind of toxic.
right, very toxic. People have gotten sick. People are getting sick.
And the sick are getting sicker.
And I myself, I'm exposed to this from what I understand. People that don't feel it, but we're getting exposed to this. But however, here's the irony. According to my sources, Exide was closed down in San Francisco not too long ago when the people over there started protesting. And guess what? They closed it down.
They close it down.
But you know why?
It's kind of obvious. It almost goes back to Bubba Ray.
The people, the majority of the people that protested against this were white. That how true this is, I don't know. But according to my sources, because people over there have a higher income, they have more influence, they're white, and of course there's some black and brown people there too. But the majority, the people are upper middle class, who are being affected. So money talks, shit walks.
Yeah, money buys justice.
Right, and so that's the difference. Whereas, Exide over here, they continue to ignore the black and brown people because black folks are getting affected too. I mean, come on. Pollution and death don't take sides.
No, not at all.
So I'm gonna get some more information. I'm gonna bring more information on this because this company is ignoring the wishes of the people, and for some reason they're defying, or if at all, we don't know what the government is doing here. Is it possible that they have bought the government, the county, state, and federal authorities? Well, what's happening? I need to look into this, and I'm going to bring some more information.
So the police department's up for sale, justice is up for sale, land's up for sale, but the people that are basically living in this toxic hellhole don't see a reason to start a class action lawsuit against Exide to get rid of them permanently.
From what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, I guess there's a lawsuit, but where's that lawsuit at right now, the status, I don't know.
And we have to go down to City Hall and look in those records and pry through them and see if we can find examples of this.
And by the way, I want to ask all the parties involved with this excite and the tow truck to please call me to give me more information at 323-246-1581 or go to my Facebook, capital E period small f period Mohammed MOHAMMED Martinez, or my email aztecchicano intifada@yahoo.com. ASTECCHICANO intifada INTIFADA@yahoo.com. I need more information. This is your voice. Tacos and Grits is not bought and sold by no corporate or anybody. We are our own people. We are your voice. We are here to fight for nuestra gente, black and brown and other people of color. Oppression and racism has no borders or skin color. Remember that.
And we'll be black after this.
And white included. And white and poor whites are included too.
As long as y'all don't do no CGI blackface, we good. That's why I don't watch the Cleveland show. We'll be black after this.
Go, 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 go. I have cleansed myself. Battle cry, my deadly and dangerous, secret and silent soldier. Manef 18, my success rate is 100%. To the man. I have attained performance. I cured it. Clear my brain. Go, go, go. As I said, the first one's free, the next one goes in your mouth. Viable grippers. To the man.
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing it because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go, 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 go. Bingo. I'm here to collect.
As I said, the first one's free, the next one goes in your mouth.
Go.
To the man. Kill me, but you do not have the right to judge me. Kill me, but you do not have the right to judge me. Kill me, but you do not have the right to judge me. Kill me.
Go. Go, 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 go. I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen.
To the man.
Qué locura quererte como te estoy queriendo. Me parece mentira, pero no me arrepiento. Tú me vuelves tan loco.
I think it's time for a bathroom break. You know, we're old. You know, we're just like 2 shades away from Depends diapers.
Hey, the Metro Bus Revolt people.
Me enamoré de ti y que me enloqueció tu piel y que
And we're brown and we're black. Gee, cow. I mean, the hell is people supposed to think of what we do here? Good grief.
Hey, did you say we're black? What about us brown?
I did say that.
You did?
Yeah, I said we're brown and we're black.
I didn't know that.
Cause we're colored, we're stinky and we're freaky and we're colored. Give us a hand now. Okay, anyway, the American report states the following in fairness to the word respect. You know, the word President Obama could not spell so correctly. Yeah, that was fucking funny. If you've been in this country, you know, the land of the free, for more than 30 to 50 years, and you still can't speak English, you don't deserve crapola.
¿Qué?
Let's be honest. Since the institution of slavery, black people were robbed of their name, their culture, their language, their God, and their minds, and were force-fed assimilation because the Negro problem would have looked like the Native American neo-genocide, though from Florida to Kansas, Honky was trying by all means available at the turn of the century. 60 years later, still on the bottom, Latinos have populations in key southern states and realize the opportunities available through assimilation. There was no stripping of their culture, language, or mindset as long as they act indifferent to the black populations in which they lived in. And the fact still remains, many of you come here to escape the blackness from which you come from, i.e. south of the border. What, y'all blacker than us in that regard? What? Mexico's too white and politically corrupt for you to live in? Almost white doesn't make you Latino-pean in the slightest. So be aware of the undercurrent of being a minority doesn't come with the privilege of an elitist whitey who in this society has a distinct advantage. So let's look at it. Let's look at diversity. In its issue here, you know, the way tacos and grits style. Shall we?
Sure enough. Mira, when I was growing up in Brownsville, Texas,
Yeah, also.
there was you know, I was in grade school, I was growing up. There are few black demographics over there. There was a black section by Fronton Street. I think it was Fronton, I believe, or St. Francis. I can't remember the street. It's been 50, 55 years ago.
I don't expect you to remember how to play checkers. What the hell?
All right, but anyway, most of the black males were railroad workers for the Missouri Pacific, where my dad also worked. The black males were the ones that guided the railroads with the lights, you know.
Oh, the lamp guys.
The lamp guys, yeah, you know. The
signal. They signal.
Right.
The signal thing.
Right.
Henceforth, the reason why we have small jockeys on lawns and so forth is lawn jockey with the lamp.
I see. Anyway, the Latinos, the Mexicans, were the Gandhi Dandy. They were the tier workers that laid out the tracks. That was my dad. Okay. Anyway, my late father. But anyway, there was a little cafe, the water hole, the hub of the black and brown workers, railroad workers, basically. I would call it Union Cafe, and I said it before. So, black and brown unity and living side by side, you know, intermarriage and what have you, is not new in the valley, in the Rio Grande Valley, especially in Brownsville. That I can speak for Brownsville, okay, and I found some links to the black population in Brownsville. In my first chapter of Rio Grande Valley, the Texas Rio Grande Valley, Bienvenidos to Aztlán, the first part, it's there, and I speak about black brothers and sisters living in Brownsville. And I can say Brownsville, I don't know about the other place because, like I said, I can say about Brownsville because I lived there and I'm from there. So I don't know what some people out here are talking, you know, that this is something new, but it never has been new. Many of the slaves were welcome in Mexico as free men and were given land grants in Mexico. During the Mexican Revolution, blacks were welcome in Mexico, given land grants, and some even, from what I understand, they helped somewhat in the Mexican Revolution with Pancho Villa.
Yes.
You know how true this is, I don't know, but I've heard some Mexican from Mexico, old timers, when I was growing up.
The OGs.
When I was a kid, he said, "Yeah, yo me acuerdo de color," you know. That's what they call them, you know, because in those days it was colored people or Negroes, you know. So back then it was los de color.
So you guys had full view of Mayate vision back then.
You know, I didn't know what Mayate was until I came to California.
Wow.
You know, all I knew was.
So that tells you it's a racist America.
In Texas, you know, not on a non-racist basis, all los negros, you know, the black people, but not the terminology that white people use negro.
Oh yeah.
No, the N word, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No, back then, no. And then look, if you see today, even the media is coming around. You see more black faces in the Spanish language media.
Oh man, what are you talking about, man? I was watching a commercial and there was a full-on mariachi band and a brother on a trumpet, okay? And everybody spoke Spanish.
Oh no, wait a minute.
There's two commercials. I seen them. So I seen them on the Spanish channel. I seen them on the English channel.
No, wait a minute. I remember with Sonny Osuna, I believe, Bobby Butler.
Oh.
Okay, he was the first black brother who was singing Tex-Mex music with Sonny Osuna, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or Sonny and Sanglos. I forget which one. I'm talking about 40, 50 years ago. Okay, Sonny Osuna in Houston, the Pan American. There was Bobby Butler, and he spoke Spanish. Some of these Hispanics here, you know, these Hispanics they speak the Pocho Spanish, Spanglish. Oh no, Bobby Butler, you know, he was black, American, but he spoke Spanish better than some of these Hispanics here.
So basically, you know, the thing is that, you know, and
he dressed up as a black mariachi. They used to call him el charro negro, the black charro.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, here's an instance here of where each one can teach one. Papa down here at the mom and pop shop, you know, the one we went to and so forth.
Right.
I spend a lot of time helping him with his English. And this was like a year ago, he was choppy with it. Now he's getting fluid and so forth, which means, you know, if we're helping each other, you know, to understand each other's cultures, we have to learn how to communicate better.
Oh, is that why? Oh, I guess it rubbed on him. You teaching him. You know why? Because last time I talked to him, chingame, he was talking to me in Ebonics.
Yeah.
A Mexican talking to me in Ebonics. That's your fault.
Well, hey, we never got reparations for the use of slang language. Okay, but you know something, we do have honors in the white man's dictionary for all like bootylicious and swag and all that crap. Okay, which needless to say is an Illuminati thing, which has a lot of new age rappers wearing dresses, the effemination of the black man. I mean, come on, guys. We gave up the long white shirt, okay? Okay.
Look, I'm a Chicano.
I don't chase men.
No, wait, look, I'm a Chicano, a Mexican.
Okay.
I was educated in both countries. I was raised in Mexico. I went to school in Mexico. I was raised here. I was born here. You know, and the Spanish I speak here, they could not make it back in the Rio Grande Valley. You know, like when I came here, I had a hard time understanding the Hispanics here.
It's a panic mode. It's in panic
mode. I couldn't, you know, there were things that I never heard of before. ¿Qué?
But the bottom line is...
What you talking about?
You know, and Willis or...
Yeah, what are you talking about, Willis?
You know...
No, with us it's... ¿Qué estás hablando, pendejo?
But the bottom line is this, people. If we all take time to actually, you know, go to each other's houses, you know, there's going to be Spanish, there's going to be English, there's going to be idioms that we all are going to try to understand. But if we all take time to listen, Mario, my neighbor, can't speak a lick of English whatsoever, but he speaks Spanish. But I listen to him. And you know something? We have the best friendship as neighbors.
Well, you know, Compton is a good classical point.
Yep.
Good classic. Mira, I know, since I started going to Compton, 8-9 months ago? I met the most beautiful black brothers and sisters, and I'm not patronizing, because I do not patronize. But in all honesty, I met beautiful people like Mr. Camp, Mr. William Camp, Sierra, Miss Lynn Boone, Miss Joyce Kelly. I mean, I can go on and on.
And you do.
Okay? And you know what? We speak the same language, not verbally, but we have the same feelings. We have the same needs, you know, for justice. You know, and justice has no borders or skin color. You know, so my black brothers and sisters in Compton are seeking the same justice that we are. You know, and because of a few in power are corrupting it, it don't mean that the majority of black and brown people are in the same wavelength. I want that to be known.
Yeah, but they're not in the same wavelength. They're not in the same economic bracket either.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, when money comes into power and so forth, it kind of divides people.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
but as soon as poverty comes around and so forth, everybody's in the same boat. You know, there's equality in the same boat because everybody wants the same thing. But as soon as somebody becomes one richer than the other, and we have the crab in a barrel syndrome, there's always one or two people who decide to say, you know something, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's like, you know what's not fair? I'll tell you what's not fair. Go into a shoe store and I can only wear one size. It's not fair. I want to wear all the sizes.
What was the name of that famous pimp back in the old days?
Famous painter?
Pimp.
Oh, famous pimp? Oh, Iceberg Slim.
Iceman Slim. Well, you know what? This jokers, the four amigos, and the other politicos, they know who they are. They make Iceman Slim blush. Makes them look like an amateur. When it comes down to pimping for whatever they can get, they're opportunistic.
And they are getting as much as they possibly can. Okay. So which means 9 times out of 10.
There.
Still need more food though. Okay.
There.
Which means we gotta run. We gotta run. But you know, bottom line is this, people, and our listening audience. Bottom line is this: if we all take time to understand and talk to each other, and we find that we all have the same issues and the same problems, 9 times out of 10 we can all work through them. And if we can work through them, then we can find an equal platform for everything, and there won't be, you know, this recidivism of, you know, self-loathing. Because if you self-loathe somebody else, you are self-loathing yourself, and that's a psychological issue.
I'd like to send a message to all the people of Compton, black and brown specifically. Whenever you see us, you know, we want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you think. We want to know if you have any solutions. Not only do we want to hear the problems that you know that exist, but we also want to know if you have solutions. Because nobody's gonna do anything for us as a whole, de nosotros. We ourselves have to do for ourselves. Because those people up there in power, they're not your friends. The majority of them. Okay? You know, the four amigos and a few others. Okay? And they know who they are. We don't have to name them, but they know who they are. And I hope, please, county, state, federal agencies, come to Compton and get these bastards.
And see what the hell we talking about.
And come and check for yourselves. These are corrupt people that need to be ousted. And one of them in particular who is going to be running for the state assembly, you know.
And if you don't stop this bastard, we will.
And we are, and together, united, we can. Okay?
Or divided, we fall.
Enamórate, enamórate de mí. Enamórate, enamórate, enamórate de mí.
build so much strength in building our community that if they come to get one person, they're going to have to mess with us all. That's what we got to do.
Black people themselves will be their own salvation. They cannot rely on the white race.
I mean, because it's a system that taught us to be complacent, or taught us to have less of a respect for ourselves.
It made us feel inferior. It made us feel inadequate.
What we do see, though, is in the last few years, issues have made people more agitated.
The truth is like rain. You know, when you go outside, the rain doesn't exclude certain people. The truth will fall on everybody.
You know what public enemy is?
It's the counterattack. In order to get our culture to our people, it takes a strategy.
Black people are now organized in a fashion where we have maximum retaliation against all forms of racist, police brutality, and attack.
We got caught up into that imagery, and it was very, very hard to get out of that because the press always played up the whole idea about the guns and us being thugs.
That's why our point of view sometimes might get too black and too strong, because it doesn't fit within the mechanism. Now,
in fact, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we had an audience this large and didn't realize that there were some enemies present. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet, I would like to clarify some things that refer to me personally concerning my own personal position.
Just listen to the Compton Weekly editorial of community news from your station KTNG 860 AM, the American Militants on the Digital Dial. This is a public-supported sponsorship, and we encourage our listener supporters to stop by our Facebook page or website and leave us a message or much-needed donation. We have to do for ourselves, and to keep real public radio alive and accessible for all helps develop accredited programs of apprenticeship in the media arts. Teaching a career skill set that isn't entertainment requires the full support of the community, so please make a kind donation. Thank you for listening and enjoy your day. This is KTNG 860 AM. And nah, we didn't do that. That wasn't us.